Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, the rumored new host of Jeopardy is already facing a daily double-sized backlash. Why? And what is the show going to do about it? Then, anyone can take a pic on your phone nowadays, but what are the tips and tricks to make them look like Annie Leibovitz? Christopher Straub is here to help.
And when we say, what's now, don't you know?
And everything is coming up roses. Aaron Schwab is back to sing and dance in studio as she prepares to channel her divine mesem. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Good morning, Gaylord. Good morning, Utica. Not the queen, but the town. And good morning to Wyoming. And good morning to you. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Kendall continues her vacation, so we're kicking it old school. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Shane Wells, everyone.
We are going old school, like all the way around. Like, is it 2015?
I know, it is. And by the way, you should never put the word old with a lady. I am not calling you old.
I didn't take it that way.
You were very
but
young.
I'll overthink it later and wonder if you did mean it like
Please
that.
overthink it, because executive producer Jeff immediately overthought it. So,
did you already make faces?
He already made faces. He already did. But explain, it is, you do the tease today. We are kicking it really OG style today.
I was sitting here looking around, and we have Christopher Straub sitting out there.
Yep.
We have Aaron Schwab. Well, she's gone. She was here.
Yeah,
she's somewhere in the building.
Yeah.
And this is the original kind of crew that we had when we started the show.
It really is.
It feels good.
It feels, and then Eric's here. Photographer Eric was our first hire, and he's the same except slightly longer hair.
A lot more hair.
A lot more hair, and I have less hair. You have the same hair, so.
Generally, yeah.
Jeff's hair is grayer, dealing with all of us, so it's, yeah.
I don't get to do that to you very often. You don't talk about your executive producer's hair and call it more gray.
I've said far worse things.
You have, to his face, too.
To his face, yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
And I think when Kendall returns, you guys are going to have some things to talk about.
I'm sorry, who are you referring to?
Okay, so I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, no, you're staying. I don't know. I need to inform Marion Mim Davey, our new big boss, our new general manager. We have to clap when we mention her name.
Oh, yes,
that you're not leaving, because I have word for Kendall. Shane, can I ask you something? And even you watching know this. List off some of my primal fears that I talk about quite often on this show.
You're not a big fan of hats.
No.
You're not a big fan of heights.
Yeah.
And you're not a huge fan of, I think it's like bees or spiders.
Bees,
all
yes.
All of the above.
And then number 4, cheap vodka. It's a primal fear.
Understandable.
But let's talk about, you mentioned heights, right?
I did.
That is the one, and you used to book stories for the show. We call them shoots.
Yeah.
We go out and do a story,
a
story with Eric. And you, when you did that, you knew that don't ever schedule me for anything that involves heights, bees, or black water. You forgot that one. I don't like being dark water, like at night. Not that you would ever schedule me for that. So,
but I mean, you want to schedule you for those things because it's fun to put you in situations that you're just a little bit uncomfortable with.
Yeah. Now here's the fun scale.
Sure.
And then here's primal fear. You know.
Okay.
So Kendall knows all of this. She's worked here now. How long has Kendall been here?
This is like her third.
3 months? Anyway, she's been here a while.
I was going to give her 3 years, but okay.
So yesterday during the show, and I didn't say this yesterday, during the show, Shane looks at me and she said, you have a shoot today, right? And I go, yeah. And she goes, you're really going to do it? And I went, well, what is she talking about? So I looked at the email again that Kendall sent, and I'm like, the hell, why is Shane looking like... So I look, and it says canopy tour. And I thought literally it was going to be like canopies. Like I was going to go under canopies.
Like tents?
I don't know. I thought it said canopy tour. So I thought I was like doing tents. Like I would different types of tents. But Shane goes, no, go to the website. And I look at the website. It's an aerial adventure park.
You looked right before we went on air and you immediately lost it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, lost your cool. I'm not doing it.
I'm like, I felt like Sally Field at the end of Steel Magnolias. I'm done. I'm not doing it. I'm done. We're leaving. And I look, and it was like the zip lining, and then getting on something called the leap of faith, where you're 40, 50 feet up in the air, and you step off a perfectly good platform. But the guy looks at me and he goes, yeah, but you're attached to a cable. And I like, no. Why would Kendall schedule me for this?
So how'd it go?
I didn't do anything.
You drove to Henderson and did nothing?
And there's that too. I didn't even, Henderson is basically like Missouri. And I was like, where am I going? The guy was great, Lee, and the good people in Henderson, they were great. Christopher Straub basically lives out there. I waved to him because he lives, my GPS doesn't even know how to find his house. So I get down there, and I look up and I'm like, no. So every time the guy would go, well, how about this? No. How about this? So we found one thing that I would do, and you'll see it when we don't know when, probably next week we're going to air it. But I got, there's an 11 and 13-year-old that were stunt doubles that stood in for me. And I'm not joking. I am not joking.
I'm not surprised you found someone to do the dirty work.
Yeah, exactly. I did. I paid them mightily. Anyway, let's get started. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it, Leo.
Just the story you got to tell. That's worth it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great idea. Let's schedule Jason for an aerial adventure park.
Skydiving next week.
Way to go, Kendall. Way to go. The standoff between the movie theaters and studios has reached a truce. Kinda. AMC announced they have a deal with one of the studios, Warner Brothers. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to exclusively release their films in a 45-day window next year. Now, this comes after Warner Brothers had experimented with hybrid openings, meaning they would open in theaters and on their streaming site, HBO Max. The slate of movies, we got your Batman, we got your Aquaman, and we got your The Flash. So no original scripts.
Pretty much. That's pretty
That's
typical.
Warner Brothers slate next year. Hey, I actually think this is a good compromise. Because as we said in our morning meeting today, if you don't go see the movie within 30 or 40 days, chances are you're not going to go see it anyway.
True.
So this is I think it's a win-win for both. You know, it's a win for us, the consumer, because we can still have the choice to go see movies in theaters, which, as you know, I believe strongly there are certain movies you really should see in a movie theater, big and loud and on a giant screen.
Like the ones you just mentioned?
Like all of those.
Yeah.
The Batman. You should see that. And it's good for the streaming sites. It's a win-win, don't you think?
Yeah, because when like Disney released, let's say like Mulan, I wanted to see it, but I wasn't really gonna pay the extra like $30 or whatever to see it early, so I just waited it out. It popped up. We're good.
Yep. Just don't tell the movie theaters you waited it out. That's what they don't want to hear. It's all right, Shane.
Thanks.
Next in the dish, the late night host returned on Monday. They all kind of took the vacation at the same time. Stephen Colbert just got back from a trip from Martha's Vineyard, where I'm sure if you've watched the news, you know President Obama held his 60th birthday party. He talked about, he went, but he really didn't go. Look at this.
I know what you're thinking. So, Steve, what was the party like? I don't know. I didn't go. And there you go. In the massive scaling back, I got massively scaled. As soon as we heard, Evie said, that makes sense. Comedians should be the first people cut, and I don't think she was just talking about parties. I think she meant like lifeboats and stuff like that too. Now, the news that I didn't go might be news to some people in the news. The Boston Herald reported the guests included late-night host Stephen Colbert and his wife Evelyn, who also own property there. Which, of course, leads to the question, so Steve, what's your house like on Martha's Vineyard? I have no idea. Boston Herald, could you please send me the address and the keys and maybe the alarm code? Because I'd love to stay there someday. I don't own a house on Martha's Vineyard.
Now, but here's the deal. This is why we're doing this story. Stephen actually did make the trip because he and his wife bought, imagine you're a big-time TV star, they bought non-refundable tickets.
I love it. They're just like us.
If I make the money, Stephen Colbert, could you just click the box that gives you refundable opportunities?
You'd think he could do that.
It's 100 bills more. CBS, I have an idea of what CBS pays him. Come on.
Well, he doesn't have enough for a place at Martha's Vineyard.
Exactly.
Not yet.
Next in the dish, the executive producer of Jeopardy, who is rumored to be in negotiations to be the actual next host, is doing some damage control. The dude's name, that's him right there, Mike Richards, issued a statement to Jeopardy employees defending himself because there are allegations that he mistreated employees when he was working on The Price is Right. While he was the executive producer of that show, he was accused of making disparaging comments about some of the models becoming pregnant. He says the allegations don't reflect who he is, and he knows firsthand how special it is to be a parent. Written by a really good PR person. No, I don't know. I'm going to give the guy the benefit of the doubt. I talk about that all the time. But here's what I can't imagine. Sony, who owns Jeopardy, you didn't do your due diligence? There's a whole documentary about the crap that happened over at The Price is Right. You know,
little Google search?
Oh, yeah, there was some shenanigans going on with, Bob Barker was accused of being a little pervy with the Barker's Beauties. You know?
I mean, when you're going to go on a date with someone, you Google them, you find out everything about them. They didn't do that with him.
Yeah.
Then again, the Bachelor producers don't do that either.
Heck, we called the FBI when we hired Kendall. I mean, we went through a whole check. Obviously, we didn't check thoroughly enough. But all kidding aside, come on, Sony. One Google search with his name, you would have known, and now you have damage control. You have to do damage control in a moment where you shouldn't and wouldn't want to. When you're trying to relaunch a legacy show, replacing a legacy host. You don't need this.
This wasn't a great choice. Should have gone with LeVar.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it. That's it. Done.
Yeah, go with LeVar.
Move along.
He has no pervy allegations.
No. And it reminds us all of like our happy childhood.
It does.
Reading Rainbow.
Or a barrette over your face. Like Jordy.
What?
Jordy. He wore a banana clip basically over his face.
Okay.
Just trust me. We have a lot more to come. We'll be back right after these messages. Howdy. Just getting started. Coming up next. Who did she choose? The final rose has been given on The Bachelorette, and producer Ted is here for it all with the finale wrap-up. Then, from lighting to camera position, the tips and tricks to taking the best pics on your phone with phone pick professor Christopher Straub. And I've called her the Bette Midler of the Twin Cities for years, while Erin Schwab is basically the divine Miss M in her new show. She's back in studio to sing us a little preview. That and more when The Jason Show continues.
It's crazy to think of Katie being engaged when this is all over. You want to go have a talk?
Yeah, sure.
I do not think they realize the logistics of their situation. I mean, they're in different countries at this point. They have different jobs, different careers. And I mean, he seems like a nice guy, but when it comes down to the brass tacks, is Blake strong enough to handle all that is female in our family?
And so I do want approval from you, and I do want approval from...
Oh, yeah, cute.
Rhonda Lee, right? But it's like what matters is that Katie and I are on the same page.
Like, you ultimately mean nothing. Like, hate to break it to you, but, like, you better be secure as coming into our family, because at the end of the day, you're here because we want you here, not because we need you here.
Oh my goodness.
More of her.
Oh, can we just ABC get a show of her? Blake's love for Katie being put to the ultimate test in front of her aunt. It's not even her mom. It's Aunt Lindsay. Are you kidding me? It's not even. That's how her aunt is acting.
They brought her for a reason.
That's going to be a fun family reunion. I don't need you, Skippy. At long last, Katie's quest for love came to a conclusion last night on the 18-hour Bachelorette finale after two men self-eliminated. There were wow. I'll take self-esteem boost for 400. Justin, only two were left. Justin and Blake. Who will get to spend the holidays forever with that charming Aunt Lindsay? That can mean only one thing. It's time for 72% of America loves Ted. And joining us from Aunt Lindsay headquarters, It's producer Ted. Ted, can I just, I know I have written questions here, but we'll get to those in a minute. Would you want to be in Aunt Lindsay's family?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
The second she starts asking questions, I'm out.
I'm out. So it's down to Blake and Justin. What happened with Blake?
So Blake got the first, this was like the fantasy suites level, even though there were only 2 left. So Blake got the first fantasy suite, and he told her he loves her. She told him she loves him, and basically they frolicked into the fantasy suite. And basically she's like, he's the guy.
So we're pretty sure they had a fantasy in the fantasy suite.
Oh yeah, she made no, yeah, it was very obvious.
I love to just let Ted sit in the uncomfortableness for a second. Yeah. Okay, so we now know what happened with Blake. What happened with Justin?
Well, first of all, Justin said like 2 lines this whole season, so we knew he wasn't going to win. But she still has to break up with him.
Yeah.
Or she can go to the fantasy suite, which a lot of them do. It's free.
Yeah.
So
it's free. Well, if it wasn't, it would be illegal in most states. Yes. Yeah.
So she goes on her date with Justin, and she just says, "You're not the guy." And then he, pouts a little bit, wishes her the best, and that's it.
Okay. So let's go back to Blake. So now Justin's gone. Did Blake, because this is the finale, this is the big shebang, did he propose?
There were questions if Blake was going to propose, because Blake stared at those rings, those Neil Lane rings, and he goes, "Oh, I don't know, but give me a break, Blake. We know you're going to propose." So then he pulls up in the limo, gets on his knees. She's shocked. Somehow she's shocked. And he proposes. She says yes. There's the pop.
How was she? First of all, what kind of pop did he? Where did he get that ring? I've never seen a ring container pop open like that.
This is not Neil Lane's first rodeo. He knows what he's doing here.
And Ted, how can she be shocked at this moment? It's not like she's on The Amazing Race. She's on The Bachelorette.
Right. I mean, maybe she's shocked because he was option 3. So.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, wow. After the final rose brought a return of Greg, because this is the reason he's a big deal. He left dramatically last week. How did his chat with Katie go?
So remember last week he told her he loved her, then she, couldn't tell him that back because we're on the show.
Yeah.
And he bolted and he left. Well, she flipped the tables on him and gave him a piece of her mind. Take a look.
What I've been hearing is that Greg's not this shy guy act that he was doing on the show, that he's actually this very confident, cocky boy from Jersey who knows that he's hot, and this is an act. And so paired with those rumors and acting school, I really don't know if I actually know who Greg is. It's not even about the acting. What it really comes down to is...
It seems like it is a little bit.
The way you treated me, the way you said that you are so in love with me, I filled a hole in your heart, and the small second that things got awkward for you, uncomfortable, you ran, you're a liar. You did not love me, and if you think that's love, you don't know what love is.
That's not the truth at all, honestly. The way you were speaking to me in that moment still, it didn't feel like you were on the same level as me in terms of where we were at.
Ted, forget those 2 knuckleheads. We were noticing here in the studio, their applause sounded strangely familiar, like our canned applause. Listen to that.
I think it's the same track. I think it's the same track.
Because then they cut to people that were basically asleep in the audience.
Yeah, way too much editing on that. And how far was he off the couch? I mean, he was basically on the floor.
He was basically in Henderson with me at the aerial gym.
I think that's where he was.
That's right. Ted, thank you, buddy. Good. Hey, Ted, good work this season, my friend. Good work this season. You're good duty to our country.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ted Johnson, everyone. Thank you. Don't tell him, but I hate that show.
Wait, what?
I hate that show.
Since when?
It is ridiculous.
I know.
Next in the dish, the alleged happy bachelorette, not Harry.
call me old. You call her hairy.
Gee, I mean,
This is not good.
girl, get that waxed. No, she could be hairy. I don't care. Go out there and be yourself, kids. The alleged happy bachelorette couple were on Kimmel, guest hosted by David Spade. Spade, if you guys don't know this, is actually a huge Bachelor fan, so it's perfect that he was hosting. And he played a newly engaged game with them. Look at this.
What's your fiance's biggest phobia? This is kind of hard one. They're getting harder.
You know this. You know this.
You can tell by the music.
You do know it.
You think it's, I know it's not pickles. He loves pickles.
That's right.
Love pickles.
It's true. Okay, Blake, you go, because I want to see Katie botch it.
Yes.
Spotters is, that's mine too. Okay, that's
Yes.
yours. Okay, now.
Nailed it. I'm crushing
Nighttime?
this.
You say night?
The dark?
No way.
Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, it's one of them, sure.
We get to sleep with the night
Okay,
light.
wait.
Oh
not
my
a full-on
God.
nightlight, but
I
like,
love
yeah, I sleep with the nightlight.
Pure darkness is not his thing.
I don't like pure darkness.
Katie, that's a great answer. I love it.
They'll be broken up by the last day of the fair. Yeah. Shane, are you with me?
Yeah, this isn't gonna last.
No.
She's still spurned by Greg.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
And most of the people self-eliminated.
And I feel, well, they self-eliminated when they saw clips of that ant. Can you imagine?
They didn't know Aunt Lindsay
Heavens
was
to
coming.
Murgatroyd. I mean, I like her. Like, look, I'd hang out with her, but I would not want to be the dude. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
no,
I'd
no.
Play some pull tabs with her. Are you winning? Let's do this. Next in the dish. Last week, rapper DaBaby, formerly known as Baby Jesus,
I'm
apologized
sorry,
for.
what? Can you go back through that again?
Well, teleprompter, roll back down. I'll read it again. I think I know what it said. Here we go. Next in
I
the dish.
just needed to take it in.
Yeah, last week, next in the dish. Last week, rapper DaBaby, formerly known as Baby Jesus.
Okay, I heard
Something
that right.
I never thought in a million years I would ever read on broadcast television. Apologized for homophobic comments he made at a music festival. So everything was all good, okay? But then over the weekend, he deleted that apology. He claimed in an Instagram Live yesterday that what he said wasn't a homophobic rant. Yeah, he was reading a poem about inclusiveness. If you don't know who DaBaby is, he's featured in Dua Lipa's hit Levitating. She is distancing. She is levitating from him. Look, I said this last week. You know how I feel. All this cancel stuff. I judge each of these cases individually. With him, I said it last week. His initial apology did not seem sincere to me. It seemed in the opportunistic file because he was only apologizing after all these musical festivals broke up with them. And now you kind of proved my point by deleting your apology now. Because if it was really in your heart, even if you were mad at people like me that didn't believe you, if it was really in your heart, you would have stuck by that apology. But you obviously didn't.
DaBaby, Baby Jesus,
That's right.
he's not sorry.
He is not sorry.
He's sorry and not sorry.
Exactly. No, and the stuff that he said, look, I'm you know, as a gay guy, I know that shocks a lot of the audience members, but I don't get overly offended by stuff like that. Like, but what he said crossed a line. It was just crass and not appropriate. So anyway. There we go. We're going to take a break. It is old school week around here. We have our good friend Aaron Schwab and our good friend Christopher Straub in studio. A great show ahead. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. Look who's here, everybody. You made it. Our next guest is known for having an eye for fashion, but also he has an expertise in also stretches into photography, a little bit of photography. Please welcome back to the show our good friend, Christopher Straub.
Hey, it's great to finally be back in studio.
I know, you're back. We didn't give you the fake applause. I'm sorry, we used it all up in the Bachelorette segment. Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, Christopher.
But this is, I love that we're doing this because I've never said this to you. I should have sent you a note. Your Instagram, Schmistifer, your photography really is beautiful.
I have fun with it. It's a hobby.
It is.
That has actually won me some awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as an amateur, I love photography too. You do an amazing job. You take a lot of pictures of dragonflies.
Yeah, lots of, it's things in my yard. It's dragonflies, it's ducks, it's frogs. I'm the Annie Leibovitz of tree frogs.
I can narrow you down. This is how I think of Christopher.
Right.
Fashion.
Okay.
Dragonflies. And animals with life choices.
Yeah.
With like life dilemmas.
Yes.
Yeah. That's you.
Sure. Why not? Yeah, because of my children's books. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, but what's great is it's really accessible because it's something that we all have in our hands, and I don't do tons of editing. They're just tips and tricks. I have tips and tricks that I'm going to show you that you can use to make any of your photographs better.
Number one, clean your lens. This seems obvious, my friend.
I mean, I'm showing you a before and after. This is without cleaning the lens first. So I schmutzed up the lens a little bit. But look at the clarity that happens once I've clean this lens.
Look at those
There's
ducks.
No editing. This is straight from the camera. I'm using an iPhone 10, which is 4 years old already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't even have the newest best. So you guys can do this at home with just what you have in your hand.
Yeah, you deserve the best.
I know.
Okay, number two, get low. What do you mean by this?
Get low. Change your perspective. So when we talk about, when we especially look at things in nature, we're so used to seeing it from up above. So here's just a clover flower in my yard. Look what happens when I get low. It really changes perspective on this item, or whatever is in your yard, whatever the subject matter is. So I'm taking a picture there, but look at here, I'm gonna show you a before and after. So this is the before. Oh, look at this flower in my yard would be what people would normally post. But once you
No offense, that's ugly.
Yeah, right, yeah. But once you get low, look what happens. So now it's storytelling, and look, right when I took this photo, a little bug popped on there, so he's off to the left. So now it's like storytelling.
You planted that bug, don't you?
That bug did not follow direction.
Number three.
Because it would have been facing the camera.
Tap to focus.
Tap to focus. A lot of people don't know this. So if you have, especially an iPhone, I'm going to open it up here to my camera. When you tap the subject matter, whatever the subject is, that's what's going to come into focus. So here's a video here. So I found this frog just yesterday in my yard because there's lots of frogs. I tap on him and it focuses on him, but I also noticed that there's a bug off to the left. I can tap on the bug and the frog becomes out of focus. So you can use that tap to focus to do storytelling, because now the focus is on the bug, but there's this ominous motion happening off to the side. None of these are edited, it's just cropped.
And that bug has moments to live.
Right. Or if I tap on the frog, look at all the detail, the richness. Again, no editing besides cropping on this one.
And do you basically have a nature preserve in your backyard?
Oh, you've been to my house.
I've been to your house.
You haven't gone in the back half. Yeah. Right.
I haven't been invited.
Yes, there's the preserve. Lots of frogs.
Yeah. Lighten and darken.
This is a fun thing that people don't know all that much about. But if you, like I talked about pressing to focus, if you press and hold, you can actually slide your finger up. Here, let's see if I can see it on. Let's see. You can lighten and darken the images live. Like before taking your photo, you can lighten and darken them.
Seriously?
So these are great for low light settings or high light settings in order to focus on one thing. If I wanted to take a picture of this light fixture in my bathroom, let's say I'm going to show my aunt this. Look at how I can change this live. So I can, instead of it being completely blown out and white, you can actually get the detail. That's my kid. I don't know how that slipped in there.
Gee.
That's Michael Hart at work sewing. That was not, I did not have to lighten or darken this photo. But here we are. There it is, just straight out of the camera. But if I want to get in and get that crystal detail, I can get close, I can tap on it, I can lower the light, and look at this. So there's all that crystal detail.
Okay, where do you tap? I honestly, and you know me, I'm pretty techie. I did not know this tip. Where do you slide again?
Right, okay, so can we get a close shot or no?
That's about as close
all right,
as,
all right. Here, let's say, here, I'm moving the set around. All right, so if I wanted to focus on just that plant.
Yeah.
So there we go. So I press and that little square pops up. If I press and hold, that square is going to flash. There you saw it.
Yeah.
And I can slide my finger down and up to change the light levels that it is receiving, and I can still go around. That's happening live. That's not after the shot is taken.
Because if not, then you have to go into an editing software like Lightroom or Apple's own.
And that could be the next level of this. So we're gonna start. We're crawling.
We're crawling.
We're learning to walk, and then I'll show you some amazing photos, and you'll be running in no time.
I was gonna say, because do you use any editing software?
I do it mostly in Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, but never filters, because filters reduce
I hate filters.
clarity. They reduce clarity.
Yeah.
I like to use the filters kind of built in, not the effects.
We have about 30 seconds. You're going to be at the fair, I hear.
Yeah, the fair happens. Minnesota State Fair. I'll be in the grandstand. It's my inaugural
You're performing?
year. No.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't have
You're
to buy.
singing?
No, I'm not. Second level of the grandstand, there are lots of makers and Minnesota businesses in that second level. So I'll be there.
You'll be there. I wish you were performing, though.
Me too.
I just singing the hits of the Bee Gees. It's Christopher Straub.
That's me.
For more information, follow Christopher on Instagram. Say it with me, Schmistifer. And at ChristopherStraub.com, you can get all of his products. He's our buddy. We love him. He's family. Christopher Straub. We have more family members.
Thank you.
You know her. You love her. You want her to sing to you. Aaron Schwaberini's coming up. That's right. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back. Look who's back. Again.
I never went anywhere.
You never went
Just
anywhere.
right over in that seat.
It's good to see everyone. It's good to see a limited amount of people in the studio, isn't it?
I can't tell you how good it feels.
I know.
Honestly.
Just interactions.
Like humans.
Humans.
Lots of
Other humans. It is time for today's hot dish leftovers. Look at that.
Oh.
Isn't that fancy, Shane? That's new. Well, again, when you get a new general manager, the money just flows.
It's just rolling.
That's right, because our old general manager, Sheila, she now runs a couple Boston markets in Idaho. So, first up, sad news for Real Housewives and Below Deck fans. BravoCon is officially canceled this year.
No.
Right. In a statement, the network said, out of an abundance of caution, the event has been postponed until next year. 10,000 fans experienced the first ever BravoCon back in 2019, and the event sold out in under a minute. This does not surprise me, because if you're a Bravo fan, and I'm a Bravo fan.
Yeah, but would you go to this?
I would if I had the opportunity.
Do you have the chance?
Well, I would, but I would go if some good housewives were on panels. Like
you probably don't know when you buy the tickets who's going to be there.
Yeah,
right?
like give me some Dorit so I can tell her that I don't like her.
I was gonna say, I thought you didn't like that
I don't
one.
like her. No, but give me some good housewives. Give me some old school ones.
Kathy Hilton.
Give me,
Not your new fave?
my goodness. I would fly to Antarctica for Kathy Hilton. I really, really would. Yeah. I would, yeah. Next in the dish, get your tape ready. All of you, get your audition tapes ready. Christopher, Netflix is launching its biggest casting call ever. Netflix is casting for shows like Nailed It, Love is Blind, The Circle, Floor is Lava, Queer Eye as well. They're looking to cast 18 shows total. Applicants need to make a 60-second video with their name, age, and where they're from. So,
and if you want pointers, when I did my real world video and didn't make it, I'm
that's
happy
right.
to share.
Because if you don't know, Shane tried out for the real world what year?
2001?
2001-ish. Oh, and didn't you working at the Buckle at the time, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
In Waka Waka, Washington.
You have really good memory.
Oh my goodness. You're like, hi, welcome to the Buckle. And you didn't really have a Southern accent, but that was...
I didn't sound like that,
God.
but I did talk a little bit like this for some reason.
Yeah, you had a little vocal fry, which you do not have now.
No.
Because you're a professional broadcaster.
Did you ever try out for any real reality shows?
No, I was on Jenny Jones. I mean, I was on a talk show.
What was going on? Were you like the guest?
I was a guest.
Did they reveal you are the father?
No, they revealed I was the gay. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. It was before I came out
You
to
really
anybody.
did?
Yeah,
On
I
a
was.
TV show?
Yeah, on the Jenny Jones show. I was a
Was your
guest.
mom watching?
Well, no, that was why I prayed that I was cut from the show, and I was, because my grandmother did not know it. Well, none of my family really knew. And I thought it would be a great idea to...
Sure.
Because, you know, Jenny Jones shot in Chicago. So at the end of the episode, it would be like, are you a closeted homosexual? Call 952. You know, so I called, and I'm like, hi, closeted gay. And then they said, well, we'll book you at the Hojo and put you up. And I was on the Jenny Jones.
Hojo?
Yeah, and they put me up at the downtown Chicago hotel, and I was a guest. And the producer, they cut me because I wasn't quite exciting enough.
Did you know you got cut before it aired? Or
No.
did you have to watch it?
Oh, I had to watch
panic?
and pray that my grandmother watched Lisa Gibbons that day. Yeah.
Did you see what Lisa Gibbons has? It's gonna be so good.
Yeah. But no, it didn't air. Or I mean, you could see me. I'm on the panel, but they never went to me. Yeah, I'm on the end of the panel looking frightened, wearing the worst sweater vest I've ever owned in my life.
Do you have any footage from this?
I do have footage of this. Yeah.
Jeff?
It will never see the light of day, believe me, ever. Yeah. Christopher Straub would weep if he saw the sweater vest I was wearing.
I wore all this. Sorry.
You could clothe 4 kids with the size of my khakis. I wore way too big of khakis. It was crazy. Anyway, we're going to take a break. Aaron Schwaberini when we return. Back in a moment. We digress.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
Jenny
should
Jones.
buy you a world tape. You could.
Look who's here, everybody. Welcome back to the show. She is the woman that I have called the Bette Midler of the Twin... Your arm's in the shot there, Aaron. She's the woman I've called the Bette Midler of the Twin Cities for years. Now, Aaron Schwab is paying tribute to the divine Miss M with a new show honoring the best of Bette. She's the best of us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our studio after 18 years or months. Either one. It's our friend Aaron Schwab and Jay Fuchs, everyone.
Hi. How awesome is this?
We were just saying it's good to be within 3 feet of you.
Feels good to be back home again.
And it is home for us every day. Aaron, for people that don't know, not only is Aaron a performer, but she helps us with the audience. And every day I saw Aaron, and something was missing from my life when I didn't see you every day.
Right, I know.
I know. Tell me about
it's hard
the
not to be around me.
Tell me, it is. Tell the folks about the show.
We've done this show quite a bit, actually. And it started off actually as a Judy Garland and Bette Midler show.
Yeah.
Then we transitioned it just to a Bette Midler show. And now we decided, you know what, everything was shut down. And it was one of the last things that we were supposed to do before we stopped performing at Crooners. This was, I think, the last thing that we were going to do was one more time we were going to do this Bette Midler tribute show. We were like, well, we should probably put some new stuff in it. And then it was like, no more clubs. And so we were like, let's do it. Let's bring it back. Let's do something fun. But we have to update it, right? Because nobody wants to go backwards right now. We want to just move forward and have fun and play and add new things, and it's going to be great.
I know what she means to you, but briefly, because we want to hear you sing.
Yeah.
Why Bette? What does she mean to you?
I think she is one of the best teachers that I ever had on how to story tell while you're singing, because she can tell funny stories and serious stories and sad stories and it's
naughty stories.
Very naughty stories, yes.
Yeah.
But I think that's what she taught me more than anything else, was that there's a level of not to strive for perfection, but to strive for vulnerability and honesty, because it's so much more interesting.
Oh.
Our flaws in our truth are much more interesting than any perfection we could create in a studio.
Well,
it really is.
You are perfection, so I'm going to
Thank
shut
you, I'm
my
heavy.
mouth. Jay's perfection too. Look at Jay's haircut.
We're going to do
Aaron.
a medley.
Did you see Jay's haircut?
I know.
He has a new pandemic haircut.
He's
I love
very
it.
trendy.
He is.
Yeah.
Same one, Travis.
It's the same one. Well, no, you look different.
Every Thursday night.
Here's information if you want to see Aaron and Jay. The show is happening this Friday night at 8 at Crooners Lounge in Fridley. For tickets, head to croonersloungemn.com. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Aaron Schwab and Jay Fuchs.
We're going to do a little medley. We're going to take you on a journey through the Bette Midler show, correct? Okay, we're just going to touch on a few. Here we go. Oh, fancy. Thanks, Liberace. You've got to give a little, take a little, and let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of, that's the glory of love. You got to win a little, lose a little, yes, and always have the blues a little. That's the story, and that's the glory of love. What's a medley? Come on. Woo. He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man at his craft. But then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowing reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. A root, a toot, a tootly-attitude. He blows them 8 to the bar. He can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar isn't with him. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. Oh, yes. Woo! La 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 la. Oh no, we can't do any more. I think that it's edited for TV. You want the full song? You got to come to the club. Do you wanna dance? Hold my hand. Tell me you're my loving man. Oh, baby, do you wanna dance with me? Oh, we could dance under the moonlight, hugging and kissing all through the night. Oh, baby, do you want to dance with me? All right, this is where we sing along at home on your couch, right? Woo! I say it first. Do ya, do ya, do ya, do ya, do ya? Yeah, wanna dance. You say do ya when I point. Do ya, do ya, do ya, do ya, do ya? Gorgeous, wanna dance. Oh, do ya, do ya, do ya, do you wanna dance?
Welcome back. How good is Aaron Schwab, Shane? How good?
This is like the best day.
It's the best day ever. Welcome back. Back to school shopping.
Phones and singing.
I know. And crane shots. It's beautiful. Back to school shopping is in full swing, friends, and we're helping you out this week on the Old Jason Show. Look at this. We're teaming up with our friends at the Mall of America to give away a backpack full of back-to-school goodies. It includes a Fjallraven backpack, as well as a tumbler, pencil, socks, a pair of Nickelodeon Universe passes, and a $50 Mall of America gift certificate. That backpack is worth, bling, $260. For your chance to win, head to our Jason Show Facebook page or fox9.com/contest. We're going to sing out, not the two of us, but no. Aaron will sing us out when we come back. Back right after this. We want viewers. We want people to stay around.
Scared me.
Get ready, Aaron. You're almost done. Welcome back to the show. Shane joins me again, and I mean, it's like having a house band.
Well, we do.
We do, yeah.
They play during the breaks. You never know what they're going to play.
No.
We have requests for a Luann in the future.
I know.
Like
we want Aaron. We want Aaron to do a Luann de Lesseps show. All 3 songs, just a whole show.
All 3. I didn't even know there were 3.
There are 3.
Okay.
Chic C'est La Vie, Money Can't Buy You Class, and Feeling Giovanni.
The fact that you just listed off those 3 is so impressive.
Proves I have no life.
I have nothing to give you as a prize, but it's
all right.
incredible.
Tomorrow on the show, some local podcast hosts will join us to talk about their uber popular show. But right now, I'm going to zip my lip, because we're going to leave you with another performance from Erin Schwaberini. She's performing Friday night at Crooners. Go support her, everybody. And Fred Lee, CroonersLoungeMN.com. Here's Aaron Schwab and Jay Fuchs. We'll see you tomorrow, everyone.
We decided on our way out, we better sing a song about being back at work again, since we're all here together in the studio. little dolly since you guys like it. You gotta get your shoulders jamming. Get. All right, look, we're all dancing. I love it. Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition. Yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower, the blood starts pumping. Out on the street, the traffic's jumping with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Everybody working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Barely getting by. It's all taken and no giving. They just use your mind, but they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5. Oh. 9 to 5. What? 9 to 5. Oh, 9 to 5. Hey.
See you tomorrow, everybody. The great Aaron Schwab. Thanks
Jason
for watching.
Show.
Go out there and do-